Okay, so let's dive in. We are living through a new industrial revolution, and this one is all about AI. An engine of unbelievable power is being built, like right now, all around us. But it really makes you wonder, who's actually in the driver's seat? Some people are calling this a reckless race to build the most mind-blowing technology imaginable. And the thing is, this engine, it doesn't have a steering wheel, it has no brake, and there's no compass. We've got all this incredible power, but no real system to govern it, no accountability, no way to make sure it aligns with what we actually value. It's just all forward momentum, with no one steering the ship. So first, let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale of this engine being built. Because at the heart of it all, you've really got one company, NVIDIA, and they're laying the foundation for what their own CEO calls a brand new industrial revolution. What you're looking at here is a glimpse into a very specific vision for the future. We're talking about AI factories that are literally designed to mass-produce intelligence, just like a commodity. And then there's physical AI, which is when artificial intelligence gets a body. Autonomous robots, self-driving cars, that kind of thing. This vision really breaks down into four key parts. You have the AI factories and the physical AI, which we just talked about, but then you have two huge accelerators. First, these AI microservices, or NIMs, which are basically like pre-built Lego blocks for developers to build with. And then PCAI, which aims to put a personal supercomputer into everyone's hands. And what this does is create this powerful self-reinforcing cycle, right? More computing power means more applications, which brings in more users, which demands more power, and on it goes.
Now look, this isn't happening in a bubble. NVIDIA is weaving this incredible global network, connecting its tech into, pretty much every part of our world. You've got partnerships with companies like Palantir creating the end organs, like the brains of a corporation, while collaborations with Nokia are building the nerve fibers, the 6G networks that are going to connect everything at lightning speed.
And if you want a number to really wrap your head around the economic force behind this engine, just look at this. NVIDIA's valuation has skyrocketed into the trillions. It's one of the most valuable companies in history. If it were a country, its economy would be right up there with major G7 nations. The scale is, it's just staggering.
Okay, but this relentless drive for more and more power, as amazing as it is technologically, it brings us to the central problem of our time, this governance vacuum. We've built the engine, but we completely forgot to build a steering wheel.
And that is the paradox at the heart of all of this. This reckless race for more capability has a huge, profound flaw. While we're building these incredible systems, we've totally failed to build a parallel system for accountability, or for aligning them with human values. This vacuum creates what you could call a decision deficit. Think of it like a chronic illness in our society. And it shows up in one of two ways. Either we're totally paralyzed by indecision, or we end up making these flawed, unaccountable choices simply because the systems have become way too complex for any one person to manage. Let's make this super real for a second. Picture this. Two self-driving cars are about to crash into each other. The AI in each car has to make an impossible split-second choice. So, who decides the ethical rules for that choice? Is it the engineer who wrote the code? The person who owns the car? A government regulator? The problem is, without a system for governance, that question has no answer. So if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? Well, what we need is a blueprint for governance. One proposal on the table is a really comprehensive framework, a true governance operating system. Let's take a look at how something like that could work.
The key here is that this isn't about stopping technology. Not at all. It's about steering it wisely. A governance operating system, or GOS, is designed to be the necessary companion to this technological explosion. It's the compass for the engine.
So how does it actually work? Well, think of it like a complete, multi-layered framework for governing these systems. It has a constitution to set the fundamental rules, a cabinet for making tough decisions, and even an immune system for finding flaws and self-correcting. This system is built on four pillars. First up, you've got a constitution that defines the core principles and the whole architecture. Second, there's a cabinet that actually combines human wisdom with AI advisors to make better decisions. Third, you have an immune system that's constantly stress testing the system, looking for weaknesses. And finally, a manual, a practical roadmap for how to actually implement the whole thing. Now let's peek inside this framework. Every single AI agent gets a digital DNA. Think of it like a verifiable fingerprint that makes it traceable and accountable. Big decisions aren't made by just one person, they're made by a ternary decision body. That's a human governor working with 3 different AI advisors to get a 360-degree view.
You've got an Aegis gate that acts as a firewall to enforce the ethical rules, and dedicated red teams, both human and AI, that are constantly trying to break the system to find its flaws.
Now, this brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this whole discussion: the crucial difference between an AI's internal self-control and a larger external system of meta-governance. They are not the same thing.
So on the left, you've got self-control. A great example is Tesla's Halo system. It's a tactical safety feature built inside a single car. Its job is to perform a minimum risk move, like pulling over, if a critical system fails. But on the right, you have meta-governance. This is a much bigger idea. It's not about how a car pulls over, it's about the system that decides if and why that car should get a permit to be on a public road in the first place, based on a full audit of its digital DNA.
To put it as simply as possible, self-control is about one car avoiding one accident. Meta-governance is about designing the entire traffic system, the laws, the permits, the ethical rules, so that millions of these autonomous cars can all coexist safely. It's the difference between a single soldier's discipline on the battlefield and the laws of war that govern the entire army. And all of this brings us to the ultimate legacy that we should be aiming for. It's not about building the biggest, most powerful engine. It's about cultivating the wisdom to steer it correctly. It's really a direct relationship. As the power of these AI engines goes through the roof, our need for a compass, a solid, ethical framework for governance, becomes absolutely essential. For our survival and for our future prosperity. So in the end, the next great leap forward isn't just going to be a technological one. True leadership, real, lasting success in this new era, it's going to be defined by the ability to govern this incredible power wisely. The architects of governance are going to shape our future just as much as the builders of the engine. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We spend so much time, so much energy obsessing over how powerful this technology is becoming. But the most urgent question really isn't about AI's intelligence. It's about our own wisdom. How are we going to choose to direct it?